Pele, whose real name is Edson Arantes do Nascimento, is one of the greatest footballers the world has ever seen. Born in the state of Minas Gerais in 1940, Pele's family moved to a nearby town called Bauru in search of a better life. Pele grew up in poverty and his parents couldn't even afford a football. An old sock filled with newspaper was the first ball kicked by his magic foot, but it was enough for him to fall in love with the game and for people to start noticing that he was different. When Pele was 15 years old, a local coach, Valdemar de Brito, took him to play for the football club Santos. Upon arriving in the city that shares the same name as the club, Brito told the coach that this boy will be the best in the world. Within minutes, the coach was impressed with Pele and immediately signed him. This happened in 1956. 2 years later, Pele would be in Sweden, becoming Brazil's spearhead in winning the World Cup, the first of 6 titles for the team. He scored 2 goals in the final against Sweden, and at that time he was only 17 years old. Pele is known to be friendly, kind-hearted, pleasant, and a reliable friend. Pele has always been a very nice man. We would spend so much time talking. He has no superstar attitude, said Didi, 84, one of Pele's oldest friends and his barber for 55 years. I tell my grandchildren that I have one client who is more famous than anyone else. This is a man who is more known worldwide than Coca-Cola, so I feel proud of it. And it is very rare to have a client like this, Didi revealed. Pele has a certain way of speaking Portuguese, something he made a trademark of himself. He always finishes his sentences with entende, which means understand. In addition to skill and charisma, a certain mystique always surrounded the character of this king of football. Pele was born in a town called Três Corações, which translates to 3 hearts. One of his many famous quotes, made during his last match in 1977 in New York, was to honor children, and with his limited English, he simply said, "Love, love, love." On the field, Pele became an instant celebrity after winning the 1958 World Cup. Upon returning to Brazil, he helped Santos build a dynasty, winning 25 titles in the 1960s. Despite his fame worldwide, Pele continued to live a simple life in Santos. He would share a dormitory with other players and ride a bicycle around the city. The pay was very poor, but he did it for his love of the game and we had a lot of fun, said Carlos Lola, 86, a goalkeeper and former teammate of Pele at Santos. Despite being a very ethnically diverse country, Brazil is rarely represented by people of color. So, having a black person as its biggest celebrity and star has a cultural impact on the country. In addition to being the best footballer in the world, Pele also ventured into the entertainment world. As a music lover, he recorded an album with legendary Brazilian singer Elis Regina and acted in several films, making him a pop star as well. In 1962, Brazil won their 2nd consecutive World Cup with a wounded Pele. In 1970, at the first World Cup broadcast in color, the team consisting of Clodoaldo, Rivellino, and Tostão showcased one of the most famous World Cup performances in history. In the final, a 4-1 victory over Italy, Pele scored a header, which some say he managed to do by freezing in the air. He celebrated the goal in his characteristic way, jumping and punching the air. I told myself before the match that Pele was made of skin and bones like anyone else. But I was wrong, said Tarcísio Bernig, the Italian defender assigned to mark Pele in the final. That was Pele's 12th and last goal in the World Cup. In 1969, he became the first player to score 1,000 goals. The 1,000th goal happened at Maracanã, in Rio de Janeiro, known as the Mecca of football. In 1974, he left Santos and spent his final years playing in New York for a club named Cosmos. Cosmos was the only team he played for aside from Santos and the Brazilian national team. Because we the security team were always with the team, traveling, at the matches, we had a lot of contact with them. So we developed friendships, said Pedro de Libroto, a 90-year-old security guard for Pele. Pele was always very cheerful, always joking with people, he added. Pele wore the number 10 jersey, but he did not know which number he would have and was randomly assigned number 10. Since then, the number 10 shirt has been associated with the best players in the world. Maradona, Roberto Baggio, Zinedine Zidane, and Lionel Messi are just a few of those who have worn it. Pele wore the number 10 jersey, but he did not know which number he would have and was randomly assigned number 10. Since then, the number 10 shirt has been associated with the best players in the world. Maradona, Roberto Baggio, Zinedine Zidane, and Lionel Messi are just a few of those who have worn it. Pele retired after playing 1,363 matches, winning 37 titles and scoring 1,281 goals, including 90 hat tricks throughout his career. He spent his retirement in the world of football engaged in social activism, including serving as a goodwill ambassador for UNESCO. In 1995, he served as Minister of Sports, introducing laws that granted players their own rights after a certain age. Pele also provided commentary for television matches. In recent years, Pele struggled with his health. In addition to battling cancer, he also suffered from severe hip pain and spent most of his last years in a chair.